Hey guys, Summer here, coming to you from Greensboro Downtown Yoga. And in this edition of the Movement Mantra Project, I want to talk about laughter. Now, it's one of those things that we just kind of take for granted in our daily life, but there's actually a lot to tell us that laughter is one of the best medicines out there. How often have you heard people say, laughter is great medicine for the soul? And it truly is. But sadly, the average American only laughs about 17 times a day, the average adult. Whereas kids, they're laughing all the time. 100 times or more a day is a kid smiling and laughing, oftentimes at themselves in different things that they are doing. But that's what's fun. That's what it's about to be young and fearless, right? Think for a moment. Guys or gals, who do you think might laugh more, according to research? If you guessed guys, you would be wrong. I know, right? Oftentimes the first guess is that guys laugh more than gals. And the research has shown us that females actually laugh about 126% more in a day than a guy. Maybe it's because the guys are giving the jokes and the gals are the ones laughing at it. Who knows? But that is such an interesting thing to think about. So guys, I want you to start finding ways to laugh more. And gals, we need to continue to do it as well in our day. Because laughter is so great for your brain. There's actually proof that when we laugh during a joke or watching a funny movie or those America's Funniest Home Videos that we love to watch and now are part of YouTube's daily occurrence, actually impacts the cortisol levels, the endorphin levels, dopamine, and growth hormone all in your brain. And these are 4 chemicals in the brain that are so important to having in control. You know, you hear a lot about exercise and its impact on endorphins, right? You've heard about the runner's high and how people just feel really great after a good run. That's the endorphins. And what we know is that a really great chuckle session or spending time laughing does the same thing. So what can we do and how can we find ways to laugh more? Well, maybe you throw on a funny joke. Maybe you find a podcast that just makes you laugh all the time. Shameless plug for one of my favorite ones right now. No credits for telling you this. I love Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert. Maybe it's because I have a love affair with his wife, Kristen Bell. I do really have a girl crush on her. But he's hilarious, and the guests that he gets on there just make me laugh. So I'm walking, listening to the podcast, and just like breaking up, laughing, going down the road. So I'm getting benefit from doing exercise and laughing. So find a way, maybe that's what you do as well. Laughter has also been shown to reframe bad situations into positives. It's a way for us to think about the glass half full instead of half empty. And it's a really important thing at a time like this, a time when COVID-19 is just all the news is so like pulling us down negative. We've had the comedians on there who've kind of gotten blasted in some ways I've seen on Twitter for making lighthearted jokes about the situation. And we do know that people are dying and that there is by no means is this a funny situation, but for a lot of us, humor is the way that we cope. It's the way that we reframe the situation. It's as Eeyore says in this lovely little Winnie the Pooh quote. He says, you know, it's still snowing. It's so gloomy. So it is. And freezing, is it? Yes, said Eeyore. However, brightening up a little bit, he says, we haven't had an earthquake lately, right? It's a way for us to see that, okay, yeah, there's all this negative, all these bad things, But what is the one little smidgen of how you make the light in that day? Because regardless of how negative you look at it, there's always something you can see the bright, shiny light. One more research fact for you. They've actually found that people who laugh can live longer. Probably at some point have heard or seen Patch Adams, right? You know, the doctor who dressed up as a clown and went into the children's hospitals to just try to make the kids laugh. And they have found, a study in Norway found that people with a strong sense of humor outlived those who didn't laugh as much. So these doctors going into these settings, this was really found for those battling cancer, that if they could have a positive outlook, a laughter on a daily basis, that they were more likely to live longer. Pretty cool, right? As I mentioned earlier, I love to listen to my podcasts that make me chuckle while I'm walking. There's so many other ways that you can laugh during exercise. Did you know laughter yoga is actually a thing? It is. I'll post a little YouTube link so you can go do some laughter yoga. But it's just, again, it's a way for movement to be fun. They have talked a lot about how movement, when we make it fun and we crack up and joke during it, is actually more pleasurable for everyone involved. So a study found that 96.2% of people who found ways to laugh during an exercise program had more fun doing it. So let's stop thinking about exercise as this horrible thing, and let's just start laughing during it. Put on a funny podcast. Watch your favorite sitcom while you're on a treadmill. Do something that just makes you laugh. This week in my class, in my live classes, I've been talking about being a kid again and how we can just explore that movement as childhood movement. And I think so much of that is being open to being laughing during the experience. I hope you find ways to laugh more, to take that number from 17 times a day to 100 or more times a day, and be authentic and real in the ways that you reframe your negatives into positives through humor. Until next time, I'm Summer. Bye.